Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We got a few stories that we're going to cover today, or at least run through and talk about. These are showing up or showed up this morning on my Google homepage, and I kind of scroll through them just to kind of get caught up on what's going on and what's happening, and then ultimately decide and pick and choose and stop where I find my own interest in wanting to dive deeper in and expand on the discussion. So up first, Nikki Haley to exit the GOP presidential race Wednesday. That's today. Mark Cuban says he's not voting for Donald Trump because he doesn't want a snake oil salesperson as president. Multifamilies bounce back will be sharpest in these markets. We're going to talk more about that. Miami Beach is cracking down on spring break. Some business owners are worried, rightfully so. 5 ways to go from middle class to rich, and 5 high-paying social media side hustle ideas for 2024. Obviously, you see where my interest is going. Up first, is Miami safe to visit? Spring break travel advisory 2024. Spring break is upon us, folks. Now, doesn't seem like spring break right now because it's a little cool, it's a little chilly. The wind's blowing. I don't know if you guys can tell just from my hoodie, just string blowing in the wind. But we had some, we saw the crowd come in. Unfortunately, we saw some car accidents. We saw a lot more police activity here. We're not in Miami, but we are in Florida. And these are important discussions and conversations to have. Miami stands out as one of the safest cities in the United States. I didn't know that. Boasting a relatively low crime rate, particularly in its bustling tourist hubs. By making prudent choices about where to go within the city and applying basic street smarts during your explorations, you can ensure a secure visit. In 2023, Miami welcomed over 26.5 million visitors, and this number is anticipated to increase in the future. According to officials, the city will strengthen security measures for the imminent spring break by implementing curfews, bag checks, costly parking fines, and DUI checkpoints. This is good and it's bad depending on how you look at it. I look at it from a negative because I feel like the people who aren't interested in this are going to migrate somewhere else, and they could possibly wind up here. Which would then increase the volume here, and then we would have to increase our security measures here, which would ultimately deter and reduce the enjoyment of vacation, of the beach, of spring break. And and we live here, so it kind of sucks for us because then, these things will impact us. But it says that loud music playing is strictly forbidden and beach access is limited at night. This weekend, our residents and visitors did see an enhanced staffing configuration on Miami Beach police officers, and authorities from 18 different agencies will be present in addition to Miami Beach Police. Governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, announced the deployment of 140 state troopers to aid in crowd control during spring break, emphasizing a zero-tolerance policy for lawlessness. And I did notice yesterday state troopers driving through here, even though we're not in Miami. And it kind of is like, interesting. We haven't seen state troopers here all winter. This is Florida, so all of Florida is going to be included and encompassed in Ron DeSantis' plan and strategy. These troopers will support 17 law enforcement agencies across the state, focusing on popular destinations like Miami Beach, Daytona Beach, and Panama City. Now, granted, the trooper I saw was heading east, so he was probably heading to Panama City. DeSantis highlighted the importance of maintaining order and warned of strict consequences for misconduct, while Miami Beach's mayor Stephen Maynor emphasized ongoing efforts to enforce law and order beyond the spring break period. Moving on to areas to avoid, here are some neighborhoods in Miami that should be avoided, especially after dark. And I wonder if folks know this when they're booking their Airbnb. Granted, Airbnb and short-term rentals, STRs, are going to possibly change here soon with Florida Senate Bill 280, I believe. but nothing concrete yet. But expect some major changes to that. And I would assume that with these changes, we may also see an uptick and an increase on property listings as some of these short-term rental owners, landlords, investors may look to exit. But the list here includes Opelika. This area has notably high rates of both property and violent crimes. Wynwood, the property crime rate in this neighborhood is 285% higher than the national average. Little Haiti, violent crime and gang activity are prevalent here. Upper East Side, this area experiences violent crimes and are 98% higher than the national average. Alapata, I believe, known for its red light district, this neighborhood sees a significant amount of sex crimes. Little Havana, crime rates here are 200% higher than the national average, and law enforcement faces challenges in maintaining control. Bayside Harbor, while popular among spring breakers, it's advisable to avoid this area after dark. Overtown, this neighborhood is marked by gang activity, drug use, and violence. Liberty City, known for its high rates of violent crimes, particularly in more impoverished areas of the neighborhood. Moving on to common scams. When visiting Miami, be aware that it's a bustling tourist destination where scams can occur, and here are some tips to help you avoid falling victim to scams. Fake tourist information booths. Street vendors posing as tourist guides may try to persuade you to book tours with agencies that offer them the highest commissions. Always research tour agencies and read reviews before making a decision. Exercise caution with nightlife promoters. Club promoters often promise free entry and drinks at affiliated clubs. However, these offers may not be genuine, and you could end up paying unexpectedly high fees at the end of the night. Stay alert for fake kidnapping scams. If you receive a call from an unknown number claiming that a family member has been kidnapped and demanding money, remain calm and verify the situation before taking any action. Scammers may use threatening tactics to coerce you into transferring money, but in most cases, your family members are safe. Check restaurant bills carefully. All right, now my phone's blowing. I just don't want it to fall over. The wind's picking up. Some restaurants may add extra items to your bill in the hope that you won't notice. Before paying, review your bill thoroughly to ensure its accuracy and that no unauthorized charges have been included. You know what? This is Miami, and I gotta say, I don't feel like that happens here where we are in Florida, but unfortunately, this is a thing. Not every business is run to the same standard and has, the same level of ethics. So you got to be careful. And mistakes can happen. So with increased volume, increased activity, increased patrons, increased workload, there could be mistakes made by anybody that, has any input in your bill or your experience, your restaurant experience. Official travel advisory safety tips for Miami. Here are essential guidelines for ensuring a safe visit to Miami. Refrain from using recreational drugs and exercise caution when smoking cigarettes in public areas such as hotels or bars. Stay vigilant against pickpockets and muggers while exploring Miami. Pay attention to your attire as some Miami clubs and casinos enforce dress codes for entry. Stay informed about hurricane seasons, particularly between June and December, and check weather forecasts before traveling to the city. Avoid venturing into the dangerous neighborhoods of Miami. Refer to the areas to avoid section above for details. Now, we're moving on. Be careful, be safe, enjoy your spring break. If you're going to Miami, have fun, and come home in one piece, and try not to get robbed. But we're going to talk about real estate now, okay? And it says here that multifamilies bounce back will be sharpest in these markets. Goes on to say that it's not quite don't worry, be happy, but a new note from CBRE emphasizes that multifamily problems will eventually end. Markets are never static, and strong rent increases are likely to resume in traditionally higher growth cities as excess supply is absorbed. Negative results in commercial real estate are nothing new. As with any market, it happens periodically and then improves. As pre-Socratic and misanthropic philosopher Heraclitus wrote, change is the only constant in life. When things are good, the saying rankles, but when they're bad, it is a comfort. JP Morgan Chase recently took a deep dive into its $120 billion multifamily loan portfolio and said that it didn't have any particularly large concerns about the multifamily portfolio, which is different from saying no concerns. The concerns have been high, especially as the internal operations of banks can be opaque to many, is probably why JP Morgan Chief Financial Officer Jeremy Barnum noted that even with multifamily representing $120 billion of JP Morgan's $200 billion in commercial real estate loans, things were different from stressed apartments. Quote, all right, phone, stick with me here. Don't get blown over. This wind is crazy. Good there, buddy? We underwrite to current rents, not future rents, he said. We don't underwrite based on the hope or the expectation of market rate conversions on the rent-controlled space. The bounce back will likely be sharpest in Phoenix, Charlotte, and Nashville. I really don't want my phone to fall over. Interestingly, higher rent expectations paired with increased going-in yields will likely bolster investment performance in these markets, but a market like Austin, where supply grew 6% in 2023, 3 times the national average, will take longer to recover. Meanwhile, Cleveland, Milwaukee, and similarly situated markets will see slightly slower rent growth, but will continue to benefit from stable fundamentals and higher than normal barriers to home ownership. So therefore, basically, if you haven't seen a huge increase in multifamily apartment living building options, shelter options, then your rent prices may not go higher sooner. However, if you haven't seen this increase, but you are experiencing growth in your city, then your rent prices are likely to go up because of that. And also, assuming that more people will be inclined to rent and or forced to rent based on current housing market trends, home prices, and mortgage interest rates, in addition to the overall cost of living, then increased demand in the rental market as a result of decreased demand in the home ownership market could potentially drive up prices for rent. Rent can be negotiated. Rent can be negotiated in a variety of different ways. And if you guys want to talk about that, then just let me know. Moving on to 5 ways to go from middle class to rich. You've made it. You've reached where many Americans only dream of, or what many Americans only dream of, a comfortable middle class lifestyle with all the perks that come with it, a stable income, family vacations, and a growing nest egg to boot. But what if you want more? And guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, I saw a comment yesterday, and this comment appeared to be real. It was worded really well. It didn't have a bunch of replies after it, and it was talking about a nest egg going from 600,000 to 7 figures, but it was a scam. So this is a new comment trend that's going around. I want you guys to be aware. If you click on it, I don't know what's going to happen, or if you engage with this person or this bot, I don't know what's going to happen, but odds are there's going to be very few people that you're going to meet in the comment section that are going to take your 6-figure nest egg to 7 by reaching out in the comments. It's just not going to happen. Okay. I feel very confident saying that's not going to happen. As it turns out, dreaming of becoming wealthier isn't wishful thinking, but there are certain steps you'll have to take to get there. Certain steps. Okay. Not in the comment section. The key to going from middle class to wealthy is threefold. Get your debt under control, curb your spending habits, and build passive income. Reducing and eliminating debt will free up more of your monthly income, which can then be used for investments or building up your savings. Fixing your spending habits has a similar impact, but it will help you maintain a positive income stream over the long term. Of course, becoming wealthy isn't possible without bringing in more income, but it's important to do so strategically. Here are more expert recommended ways to go from middle class to rich. Make a plan to get out of debt. Look into investing opportunities. Invest in real estate, okay? Invest in real estate. Explore additional sources of income. Educate yourself about money. And all of these can be discussed in greater detail. Feel free to reach out from a real estate perspective with my good friend Chris Igo And from an overall investment and additional income source stream perspective from both of us, as well as others in our mastermind, by all means, feel free to reach out. Info is down below in the description. And now we're moving on to ways to make more money, folks. Let's go ahead and dive right into it, okay? 5 high-paying social media side hustles for 2024. I love YouTube. YouTube is my favorite. Social media in general can make money, but my area of expertise is here on this platform, and that's what I'm going to focus on, okay? And so Forbes is sharing here that, did you know that the global spend on social media advertising is projected to reach a market worth of $255.8 billion by 2028? With 3/4 of this amount forecasted to be spent by the end of 2024. With more than half of the global population using social media, this shouldn't come as a surprise, especially since artificial intelligence has opened up new pathways for companies to be able to sell and promote their brand presence and products more effectively. But what's in it for you? If you're looking for flexible work to be able to earn something extra alongside your main job, or simply as a way to flex and challenge your skill set, the soaring interest and expenditure in social media advertising presents you with the challenge. Why not turn this buzz into a side hustle? ? And no, you don't need to be an influencer to start. Check out these 5 amazing side hustle ideas, which don't even require you to be a social media influencer if that's not your thing, so you can take advantage of the advertising boom. I don't know if I consider myself an influencer. I guess I try to be influential in regard to motivating, educating, teaching, helping, sharing. But I don't really feel like an influencer. I feel like an influencer. I do kind of feel like an influencer is an actor, an actress, specifically trying to nail a role. And I'm just trying to be me. I don't even know if I'm trying to be me. I'm just being me. So I don't know if I consider myself an influencer, but I guess if I had a paid promotion or sponsorship, then maybe at that point in time, I might be more of an influencer, or if I was trying to purposely push and direct people towards a certain direction or path or product or service or company or whatever. But I'm just sharing with you guys, I'm literally only trying to connect and communicate with those who want to have these conversations. And it's not really from an influential standpoint. It's from a business standpoint, and the fact that this is a $250 billion plus industry that I can't take advantage of on my own, but I'm also already working and helping others to do that. And that in itself will become a business for me while helping others build their business within this business, if that makes sense. Number 1, social media advertising consultant. I'm not going to dive into all of these, but I will run through them briefly. Number 2, or actually, before I get into that, the social media advertising consultant says here that you can expect to earn $95,000. Number 2, social media manager. Social media manager is actually pretty interesting. Social media managers, it's actually a pretty easy job. Like, it really is. The social media advertising consultant, if you have already been in advertising, if you have any experience in marketing, especially if you were in print or anything like that, then you're already somewhat qualified. And then you can just transition over to social media and you'll already have an opportunity, because you got to think, companies, brands, they all want the same result. They want to reach their target market, their customer base or whatever. They may have a great service. They may have a great product. They may have a great story to tell, but they may not know the best way to market and advertise to connect and reach. And that's everything, folks. That's titles, that's thumbnails, that's intro hooks, that's search engine optimization, that's keywords, that's trends, that's everything, okay? And also taking all that and tying it in together with effectively who you're trying to reach. And a lot of these need to be more of a specifically targeted and almost sniper-like approach versus a shotgun blast, okay? Shotgun blast, when it comes to marketing, is expensive, and the returns aren't necessarily as good depending on what you are trying to sell. The social media manager, again, it's super simple. It's super easy. And if anybody wants any coaching on how to do that, I could easily do that with you guys. Feel free to reach out. My info is below. Number 3, YouTube channel manager, similar to a social media manager, but it's going to be isolated and focused on YouTube. I am essentially a YouTube channel manager for myself, for multiple channels that I have, but I'm also a YouTube channel manager for a few other clients. And it's a total package. It's content curation, idea creation, theory, analytics, accountability, everything lumped into one. And we're already seeing extreme amounts of success. Number 4, PPC campaign manager, pay-per-click. Again, you're going to want to know who your target is, because the shotgun blast is going to be very expensive, especially if you're paying per click. So you want each click to be worth it, each click to be valuable. And now we're reaching into the $109,000, $156,000 range on these opportunities. Number 5, a LinkedIn profile / content writer. And that's bringing in $96,000 on average. And that's a pretty simple and easy job. I'm not going to, again, go into it in great detail, but even if you're a decent writer, even if you're a good writer, or even if you're not and you want to become one, this could be a great opportunity. And there are countless tools available out there to help you, especially with opportunities like Grammarly and opportunities like ChatGPT, as well as opportunities from just connecting with others who are already accomplished writers like Amy Suto, which I'll link here for you guys. You might want to go check her out if this interests you in being a content writer or a writer in any capacity. And she actually has a, she's got a, what's the thing called? Sorry, I had it. And then this lady walked by, she looked at me and she just threw me off. I don't know why she threw me off. She's like looking out, she's smiling at me, making my video, and just kind of threw me off. All right, Substack. And she's got a Substack. Go over there, check out From the Desk of Amy Suto, subscribe to her Substack, and make this stuff happen, folks. Hey, this is it for today, or at least for this video, for these morning news updates. I may be back later on today with another video. Hope you guys have an amazing and fantastic day. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.